Good morning, dear children. Now today we are just going to deliver our lecture 4th on the Gauss's theorem. Before we discuss the Gauss's theorem, the two topics which we have to discuss, that is the area vector and the solid angle. Now let us take the area vector. Now area here in whole of the electrostatics and in the magnetism, it is considered as a vector quantity because we are just considering its particular orientation and its direction is always normal to the surface. That is why the area is considered as a vector quantity. Now come to the solid angle. Second one is, that is, this is the three-dimensional concept and angle is the two-dimensional concept. If any surface we are assuming in the space, and the point from where we are observing, that is also the point O. If we are observing this AB surface from this point O, then it makes a cone-like structure, and this cone-like structure is the angle which is formed by this cone-like structure. It is denoted by d omega. This angle is known as the solid angle. Suppose this is the AB is the surface and this is the center of this surface. This is the ds area vector, but area vector is inclined like this because area vector is always normal to this surface. Already I have just told you that its direction is fixed. That is why it is considered as a area vector. And what is AC? AC is the normal component of AB, this ds. So the solid angle subtended by any surface at a point O is the ratio of the normal component of AB and square of its distance from the point considered. The distance from this point to this point, we have taken considered as a r. So d omega, the solid angle, will be equal to AC. AC is what again? AB, the normal component of AB. So AC d omega is equal to AC upon r square, and AC is the normal component of AB, that is AB into cos theta. That is d omega is equal to AB cos theta upon r square. It is measured in space and is expressed in steradian, and again I am reminding to you that the solid angle is the case of 3 dimensions. Now let us proceed with the Gauss's law in the electrostatics. So this law gives a relation between the electric flux linked with any closed surface and the charge present inside it. The law may be stated as below: the surface integral of the electric field vector. When we are writing the vector E and within bracket R, this R is showing the position vector linked with the closed surface multiplied by the permittivity of the free space or the medium is equal to the total charge enclosed inside the surface. And the surface is known as the Gaussian surface. So if the several charges are present, then sigma q will be equivalent to q1 plus q2 plus q3 and so on. Now come to, let us see that what is the electric flux, because this whole of the quantity is the electric flux. So electric flux may be defined as the total number of electric lines of forces which are passing through the surface area in a direction normal to the surface. The total number, how many electric lines of forces they are passing through this unit area which is placed perpendicular to the surface. Now see, this is the surface S and we are considering this small elementary area ds. So the direction of the electric field is here and ds is always normal to the surface S. It is always normal to the surface, so the direction of the ds will be, that means they are making certain angle between them, that is the angle is theta. So d phi is equal to E cos theta into ds, or d phi is equal to E dot ds. That means the electric flux may also be defined as the dot product of scalar product of the electric field and the area vector. Its unit is Newton meter square Coulomb minus 1. Or in another way, we just want to find out the surface integral when we are considering the surface charge density and the charge is distributed on any surface. Then we are considering the surface integral. The surface integral of a vector at any point for a given surface is defined as the sum of the scalar product of vector with the small elementary areas in which the surface can be divided. Now this gives the electric flux linked with the surface. Suppose S is the total surface on which the positive charge is uniformly distributed. We can consider the elementary area. It is made up of we can assume that it is made up of this, whole of the area is made up of these elementary areas. So one elementary area we are considering, that is the ds. So the electric flux is equal to the surface integral of E dot ds. Or surface integral may also be represented by these two lines. Now sigma is equal to what? Q upon area. So area, elementary area we have considered here, it is ds, or the value of the Q is equal to sigma into ds. Now the children go into the detail and take the explanation of the Gauss's law. The statement of the Gauss's law leads to the following informations. This law holds true only for the closed surfaces, and therefore in order to apply the Gauss's law we will have to consider a closed surface which will be called the Gaussian surface. Until and unless we are not assuming any closed surface which is known as the Gaussian surface, we are not able to just to apply the Gauss's law. So this is very, very essential. Second explanation, the electric flux is linked only when the charges are lying inside the Gaussian surface, inside the closed surface. The charges which are lying outside the closed surface or outside the Gaussian surface, they will not contribute any type of electric flux. Now third explanation is, in case if the several charges are present inside the Gaussian surface, inside the closed surface, then we have to take the algebraic sum of all the charges. That is, sigma q is equal to q1 plus q2 plus q3 and so on. Now let us see the proof of the Gauss's law. Many times it is asked in your CBSE examination. Consider this elementary area AB on the closed surface. This is the closed surface. This is the one surface in which we have considered a very small portion of it, that is the AB surface, which is called the elementary area. It is at the plus Q is here, and this surface, elementary area surface, is at the distance r from here, and subtending the solid angle d omega at the charge. Now when this type of situation is there, already I have explained you that this is the solid angle at the distance r from the Q to the center of the surface, elementary surface considered. Now listen children, the direction of the ds is always normal to the surface. So if it is inclined like this, so इसका जो normal होगा वो ये होगा, that means the direction of the ds is in this direction, and this direction is fixed. That is why the area here it is considered as a vector quantity. And if the plus q is here for the determining the direction of the electric field, we put the test charge here plus q0. So definitely with the repulsion force the electric field will be in this direction, and this electric field and the area vector, they are making the certain angle theta. I think the figure is clear. The electric flux linked with the element AB is E dot ds. This is the formula. Already we have discussed that the electric flux may be defined as the dot product of electric field and the area vector. Now E dot ds, the value of the E, we can easily write it down, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught k into Q upon the distance square. Now this R1 is what? R1 is the unit vector and dot ds upon r square. So q upon 4 pi epsilon naught k into q r1 dot ds upon r square. So this ds is inclined at certain angle theta. So it is having the two components, ds cos theta and ds sin theta. So here again we try to understand that this is the surface which elementary area ds, its direction is this, and this is the AC is what, it is the normal component of this AB. So R1 dot ds is equal to, R1 is the unit vector, so it will be 1, and it is the dot product of ds, so it will be the 1 into ds cos theta, and this ds cos theta is equal to AB cos theta, and AB cos theta is equal to the normal component of AB, that will be equivalent to AC. Now, so we can say that the R1 dot ds, R1 is the unit vector, remember it, upon R square is equal to area AC upon R square, and this normal component of the area AB divided by R square is equal to D into omega. E dot ds is equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k, and this is written as, we can say that this quantity is written as the d omega, that is the solid angle. Considering all the such elementary areas constituting the closed surface, we will have the surface integral for the closed surface E dot ds. No need to write this, but try to understand this, that this r, when we are representing it, E within bracket r, that means it is the position vector of the point where the electric field is required. So we cannot write this r, then also it is alright. So it is only a vector E dot ds, and then the value of the E is q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k, and this will become E dot ds, this is the d omega, so only d omega will be integrated. For the closed surface, the total d omega will be the 360 degree, or we can say it is the 4 pi steradian. So this, if you substitute here, this 4 pi and this 4 pi will be cancelled out, and E dot ds is equal to q upon epsilon naught k. Or if this epsilon dot naught k is multiplied here, then E dot ds is equal to q, and if the several charges are there, then it will become the sigma q. In several books it is written that phi, because this whole of the quantity is the phi, the electric flux, is equal to q upon epsilon naught k. K is the dielectric constant. If the medium you are considering, then the value, the k is to be written. Otherwise, the formula for the air or space is phi is equal to q upon epsilon naught.